Hello viewers. Just got back from lunch. That's the hard part. Yeah, the Pearl Jam. That's all I know. It's a very Hendrix-y, very Hendrix-y. Hendrix plays this chord shape like this. Hold on. Hendrix does thumb over here and like an F shape. And then uses his pinky, yeah, left hand. But I can't do that. I can't, I don't, his fingers are a lot longer than mine. So I bar all the way across, which makes it a little bit more awkward. If I could do it his way. But otherwise I can't do this without, I always fudge these. My pinky can't do whatever his pinky's doing unless it's... I'm still working on it. Okay. Let's do stuff. Let's do stuff. So, where were we? I finally got rid of that. The stuff. So I need to decide what the stuff's going to be. So I have an hour and a half about. What can I get done in an hour and a half? I'm going to leave. Sorry about the noise. There's a lot of trucks. I'm going to leave this one in case anybody wants a challenge. I think this would be an interesting challenge. Because there's a little bug right here. Oh, the start of an S. I'm not ready for that. I'm so far. Placeholders and text. That's so we can map it out a little bit while we do that. So you can maybe see where we're gonna go then. So I want a section for the encoders. I've just thrown everything together here for the time being. But eventually. I want to keep the structure of encoders, this structure. This is a good structure, I think. It's hard, it's a little hard to see, I know. But encoders section, SP section, and then obviously this will fill out as we get there. And then the anomaly detection, prediction section, anomaly detection and prediction sections, those are going to be the non-biological sections along with the encoders. So it's really the spatial pooling, temporal memory sections will be implementing biological algorithms, at least that's the idea. What will an all up page look like? Places, holders to, I've been wondering about that. So I'm going to go back to red blob again. And I kind of like, where was the, yeah, this is it. I'd like to be able to take the whole I don't really want a side menu. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Like he's got a menu that pops up, or no, the graphics just pop to the side. Yeah. But his menu's always on the top. So something that says home, encoders, spatial pooling, temporal memory, and then these maybe are either landing pages. Well, that's not where I expected it to go. Oh, these actually go different places. These aren't, this isn't a menu. These are actually links that go different places. Like how the table migrates. Like this table, now I'm totally lost. I don't know which table you're talking about. Every web dev should rescale the page to see how it flows. Yeah, that type of stuff. I'm not very good at that type of stuff. We'll try. I'm probably gonna need some help. So I'm hoping that if I follow some standards, we can apply. There are some libraries, I know JavaScript libraries, that will do this type of stuff for us. There's obviously one in this, and it's probably not even JavaScript, it's probably CSS at this point. It's just been a while since I've done that. So let's move some content, and I may be the only one that can do this easily, because actually let's start here on this encoders and compare with this encoders. Encoders, what is an encoder? What is an encoder? The encoding process. So this style doesn't look too bad. So maybe we should decide on a few basic styles and like the width of the page. That's one thing that I struggle with, because at some point you want to make your visualizations a certain width. They just don't make sense if they're too small. So like having a set minimum width or something for each diagram makes sense, I think, or else I just don't think they'll display well, some of them. So this image is here, and then we've got some styling that came along okay. I don't know, maybe I don't want to get into the styling. I just want to make sure that, like this for example, I do want to break that out. I want to do whatever it takes to make sure that is styled differently. It's an aside, or yeah, it's an aside. So wherever this aside is defined, I'm just going to steal it. There's some more asides. I don't know if this is the right thing to do, but I'm going to take that and I'm going to make sure this has an aside class. It does. So we just have to go to the Cascading Style sheet. Where is it? I'm not sure. So this is React, right? So this is going to be on the encoders page, and I'm going to create my style like the React way. So whatever the aside is, I can like attach. So here is the class name aside. Is that is that still what I want to do? Or, because I've seen how you can just pass in a style as well. Where did we do that? I had some place that, I think it was this one, simple scalar encoder. Yeah, so you say style equals style, you just send a style straight in. What's wrong with that? That seems, from a coding standpoint, I don't have to call it an aside then. I can just tell it, here's your style. Because the only reason I'm putting an aside on it. So it just needs something like style equals, that's easy. If this is a bad pattern, someone let me know. I forget how to do this already. Aside style. And now I just have to create an aside style. I put a style here. Should I put that there? I already have one style. That's for the list. I spelled that wrong. And then my style is No, not that. This. Oh, then I have some extra stuff. So isn't there... I mean, I almost feel like this would just be easier putting it in a CSS file, but in my... I haven't created a CSS file yet, so... Anybody doing React out there know what the pattern is that I should follow? All I want to do is apply this CSS to a div here. I could just do it by saying class name equals and then put this CSS somewhere that it's loaded. But I'm not sure if that's the React way to do it or not. And if I did that, I'm not sure where I would even want to put the CSS, because it seems like React might not have a place for it, and maybe I should just... I know I can just do an aside style. Oh, there we go. If it seems like I'm lazy, it's because I am. How to use CSS modules in React using Webpack. So I'm not... so Webpack, all that stuff is being done for me by Next, I believe. So if you create a component, you can create a component CSS file and import styles from CSS. Okay. But I would only do this if I had existing CSS files. I'm writing this from scratch, so this is about Webpack. I'm just going to try and do it the way I've seen it done in React so far, which is this. It's just send a style in. I'm just going to do that. So border is solid navy 1 pix. Background color light goldenrod yellow. At least want to see this work. Adding 10, that should work. Margin 0. Hopefully this works. 0, 0, 20, 0. And I'll forget about the other ones for now. Just want to see that goldenrod yellow. It's a beautiful color, goldenrod yellow. Light gold, did you see that error? Light goldenrod yellow is not defined. That's what I was just talking about. Right, because this needs to be a string. Ah, there it is. I have choices. Do a quick scan of that page and see what works for you. Thanks, Mark. 5 ways to style React components. This is perfect. Okay. Let's see. Right method for styling. Play with components in a live background. Inline CSS, which is what I'm doing. That's what I chose. Yeah, just because it's the simplest way, and you don't have to create another file for it. And that's, I assume, that's just going to put like style equals, and then it's going to just parse that object into a string. CSS in JS. Using CSS in JS to extract CSS to the component level itself, using JavaScript to describe styles in a declarative and maintainable way. See below. How far below? CSS in JS attaches a style tag on top of the DOM when inline styles just attaches a properties to the DOM node. So that's 2, and then there's a lot more about this. I don't feel like that's the right thing to do, but maybe I don't totally understand it. Styled components. Look at some of these UI using styled components. Button. CSS modules. CSS module is a CSS file in which all class names and animation names are scoped locally by default. In React, each React component gets its own CSS file, which is scoped to that file and component. For a React component that you'd like to style, simply create a CSS. This is what I want. That'll contain the styles. At build time, local class names are mapped. Okay, hold on. Next JS CSS modules. Next CSS. Import CSS files in your next module. This may be what I want. Okay, the style sheet is compiled to next static CSS. We'll automatically add the CSS file to the HTML. Production of chunk hash. So create a next config in the root next to packages. So then I have to require it and then export it. Create a CSS file. This seems clean to me. So what would be perfect, what it seems like the right programmatic way to do this is to have a simple scalar encoder dot CSS right beside it. But that's me wanting to keep the style separate from the logic, and it just doesn't seem like the React way. I'm still struggling with that, really. It still doesn't quite make sense to me why you do it this way. But I'm going to keep at it. Okay, so I'm going to try this. I'm going to try this. So the index file can yeah, so you can just import it from a relative path. Okay, CSS files cannot be imported into your document. I don't know what that means. With CSS modules, without CSS modules. Oh, wait. With CSS modules, so we're just going to send it modules true. I don't know what the difference is, honestly. Where was it? CSS modules. It's a CSS file in which all class names and animation names are scoped locally by default. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what a CSS module is. So definitely that. I think. I mean, it's just so you can put CSS files by the components you want to style them with, I think. So it's the same way. Import CSS from versus import blah. Okay. Okay, let's try this. I think I like this post CSS. Seems okay. What is this called? Next CSS. So Zeit next CSS. Is this a good idea to install something this way? I hope so. I'm gonna try it. Who is this Zeit? Make cloud computing accessible to everyone. Zeit.co. Is there a license? MIT. Okay. Just checking. All right, let's try it then. Let's give it a shot. Because once we get this set up, I mean, we have to make some decisions like this up front, and then once we have some of these decisions made, we can make progress across many fronts. But like deciding how we're going to style the pages is important. So if this doesn't feel right, We don't want to force it, at least for me. All right, so I should be able to now do something like this. So I'm going to create a style, and I am going to just create a style like right at the bottom of pages, I guess. Where should I do this? So perhaps I've got a folder with components, and I've got a folder with pages. Components has diagrams. So these are my React components, and then I have pages. So each React component could have a CSS file. Each page could also have a CSS file, I would think. That's the right way to do it. And all of these will, so I'm going to put this right, I'm going to put the CSS right beside the page or the component that it styles. Okay, because I don't, honestly, this is the Wild Wild West. I don't know. This isn't the Wild Wild West, people, but honestly, all this stuff is so new. What is the best pattern to do it in? It takes time to figure that out. Hi, MHDGHD. I'm just complaining about React in general. So I'll make just a styles. So this is like the main style, and let's make sure that we can do it. Like, okay, body, background, color, red. So we'll know if this style applies. And copy the page that you were drawing inspiration from. Yeah, I definitely am going to try and do that. But I don't know. You mean stylistically? Yes, I could just take their CSS. Yeah. Although I'm not crazy about serif fonts for technical writing. I prefer sans serif. So I might change that. But the colors, and he's got. Oh, I keep pressing that button and I don't mean to. He's got a link on here about colors. That's really good. Here it is. No, this is the. Maybe it is. Yeah, it's not the color yellow. But he has a whole thing that I should look into. It's all about the best practices for. It was along with that interactive tutorial. Here it is. Notes I made. No, blog posts, scribble numbers. Work. One of these was about colors. Here's the one on responsive web design for interactive diagrams. There we go. Look at this. I was just complaining about this. Okay, so I should keep this open. I should bookmark this. Let me bookmark this. Yeah, in BHTMS. Okay. Oh, this is good. Oh, this is great. All right, so this is exactly the type of stuff we will need to apply. I just accidentally ran into this when I was looking for something else. Drag handles, arrows outside diagrams, responsive web design, notes on how I made the A-page a tool for graph editing. I swear one of these was about colors, and I really liked it. He basically just picked primary colors, and I don't remember, and he muted them and picked sort of the pastel-y versions of them. Hue, is this it? Color distance. Anyway, I'm getting way off in left field now. Okay, where were we? I'm trying to set up this CSS, and I want to use these modules, and then I found a plugin to use the modules, and now I want to import some CSS from the module. And I'm going to do this, we'll do it in index. We'll do it in all of them. And it's styles. I named mine styles. Let's not name it styles. Let's name it style. Let's name it style. Okay. So the index we're going to import CSS from, and then we have to and then you apply it. I don't know. I know Java, I don't know Kotlin, so it doesn't matter what language you learn, honestly. Just learn something. Learn how to program, and you can learn languages. You can pick up languages easily enough. Learn how to program. Doesn't matter what language you learn. I got a Diet Coke. Okay. I learned PHP. It was probably the first language no. It was big. It was QBasic. It was QBasic on a computer that my mom bought and brought home, and had a green screen. And I remember finding QBasic no, that was after the green screen. That one actually, but it was a DOS system. And so you executed QBasic from the command line, and it brought you into like this weird UI screen that was all blue, and you wrote your program in that. It was actually a little IDE. It was hard to use, and I wrote some trig in it for a homework assignment, and I thought, oh, that's neat, because I checked my answers with it. It was like the Pythagorean theorem or something. And so I programmed it in so I could just enter, you know, A and B or C or whatever. And it worked, and I was like, that's pretty cool. And then I didn't show anybody. I just turned it off and didn't program for probably 10 years. And the next thing I programmed was PHP. And very quickly after that, Fortran, Shell, Java. No C, never any C. A lot of Java. All right, I'm getting off track. Sorry, guys. So this is applying it by class. Like, this is saying it's applying this CSS directly to that element. It's almost like, that's interesting. Well, I can do that though, but what happens with body? Like, what about why doesn't body, how do I apply that? It doesn't just, maybe it does. I mean, I shouldn't assume anything, right? Module, no, I have to npm install this stuff. Okay. That didn't build anything, did it? Okay. So it definitely did not apply the body style. But that's not really what I want to do. So I'll just cut it some slack, and let's just call this red, and see if I can apply, like right here, class name. Isn't that what it was doing? CSS.red, right? That's what it was doing, right? I've got all these things open now. Like that. It was, yeah, CS class name CSS dot import CSS from style. So around the layout, there should be a red. Excuse me. It didn't work though. We're not to the layout yet. Where's the layout? No, this is the layout. This is the div, and it did not apply it. My styling path isn't correct. Shouldn't it be style.css? Yes. Hey, thanks. Yes. You're right. No, didn't quite do it yet. Let me take this out. But I could be doing something else wrong too. I'm expecting, let's do, let me make sure that I'm looking at the right thing. What if I do this? It probably won't work. Maybe it will, I don't know. See, it's not even applying maybe I'm not looking in the right place. Actually, I am. It's applying a style here, but that's, I think, the style. I've got several things messed up right now. This aside style. Okay, this is different. I don't want to look in this one. I'm looking specifically here, and it's not finding this style. It looks like it should. It's probably because there's a plugin that's doing it, and so the IDE is not like recognizing. I should be able to say CSS dot, no, what? CSS dot red. But it's not like, certainly doesn't know that I'm referring to this. It's not a class, that's what it is. I forgot the dot. Hopefully that's it. No. Just do import and class name equals red. Let me try. Just import this. That'd be fine with me if that worked. Something's not right. I don't think the import is bringing in the CSS. Yeah. Okay. Layout, import style. Let's see if it should. So, okay, let me change this file name and make sure that it fails. It shouldn't even load now. It's not even causing an error. So that should cause an error. Oh, there is an error. No, it's just the favicon. So now I'm totally confused because I just imported a file that did not exist, and it... Oh, I'm in the wrong page. I should be on index. Oh man, that's stupid. Okay, so at least it errored out the way I expected it to. Okay, let's see. This is what I want to work right now. Let's see if that works. Fail to compile. Unexpected token. And the CSS file? Module parse failed. Unexpected token in pages. See, it thinks it's trying to parse this like a JavaScript file. This shouldn't happen, obviously. May need an appropriate loader to handle this type of file. I thought that's what this plugin was. Maybe I can't put it in with the pages. Maybe I'll try and put it down a level for now. Just for now. I want to see if I can get this to work. Maybe I do have to go down, and maybe now next won't try and load it. No, it still tries. Okay, In this example, Oh, I have to add this config file. I almost forgot. So I need a config file. I'm going to move that style back. And hopefully that still works. This class red. Still, it's background color red. Okay, so this config file needs, I don't need options. I don't think I need options. Just this. Okay. Let's try and make, cross your fingers. Wait a minute. Okay, compiled. And it's red! Alright. And okay, so I think I can do what I want then. I don't want this to be red, obviously. But I do want to steal. Let's see, how do I want to do this? I could probably apply the class name in the layout. No. Yeah, maybe this should be in the layout. Probably. I'm going to take this out and work in the layout. Yeah, so here's a layout style. This is where I styled things. So I'm going to take this style out. And this is where we're going to say import CSS from, and I'm in components now. So now I do this is the place I would want the style to be. Okay, I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna put a layout of CSS here beside the layout. Actually, I'll just move this over and I'll rename it. What did that do? So I'll just call that layout, and then we'll grab this stuff from here and put it in here. No, here. And this is going to be content, or we'll call it body, class body, sure. And I'm going to make this CSS. Okay, and I don't actually want this. What I want, I should probably I'll just go back to his page and take a look at his style sheet. We'll change the colors, but hello. Great. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, where's this style? That's what I could copy, that whole thing. See, that's the nasty part. But I think that's it. I could take the whole thing. But I would certainly have to. This is the whole thing. But let's just steal bits, the bits we want. Like, for example, it's got a main body class game prog. So this is the stuff we'll get into with the responsive, when we get into the responsive stuff. This even got hues. Okay, I'm not going to worry too much about styling right now. I just want to be able that I want to make sure that we can we have a consistent framework for styling. I think I broke something a minute ago. Yeah, that'd be cool. A little like pastel blue, something like that. I don't know why I always pick Verdana. I shouldn't. Okay, but I should be able to, now that I have this layout here, I should be able to say CSS.body. And then we've got the head, and then this is where the content goes. And so this is also, wait a minute, this is weird. Why is there a head and a header? Header. Oh, a head is the next. That's the actual head matter, right, for CSS or HTML page. This header contains our links, and we've got an inline style here too. We'll deal with that at another time. But this should work for the layout. And as far, I'm gonna go find his color thing because it was interesting. What was it about? This wasn't it. Color. Understanding the color yellow. That wasn't it though. There's something else. There's something about the site. Styling. Trans shader experiments. Let me see if it was in here, because finishing touches, something, I thought I read it when I was looking through this. Color. Ease of choosing colors, that's it. HSL colors, not RGB. These are such cool things. I swear it was not here. It was something else. This stuff is so well put together. It's okay. I don't know where to go. So what I'll do is I'll go to an HTML color picker. That's a pretty good color, honestly. I was thinking about making. That's not a bad color. What did he say? Use HSL if we can. Is that? I don't see why I need to do that at this point, though. Okay. Let me get back to something. Background color. I have no idea if this is going to work or explode. I doubt that let's see, hold on. I didn't think it was going to work. Oh, we're still looking at index can't find pages. Oh yeah, because I moved everything now. So this shouldn't be. Component layout, can't resolve layout. Huh. Let's do that. Style prop expects a mapping from style properties to values. at layout 7. Layout 7. It expects a mapping. So it didn't like my body. It doesn't like body. So it's not, oh, it's probably this. Let's see if this works. No? No, it's not that. Well, that's what this is doing. It's saying import CSS from styles and then CSS dot whatever. And that's what I'm doing. I should be saying dot body, CSS dot body. This was working, I'm pretty sure. Let's simplify this. This shouldn't matter. So this is not a mapping. That's what it's trying to tell me. This is not a mapping. The CSS dot. What happens when I put a debugger like this right inside of a React component? It stops and it says unexpected token. All right, just wondering. React doesn't want you to add a debugger. So this says 404 layout not found. Hold on, that doesn't make any sense. Coding numbers not found. Nothing is being found. The error says the style prop expects a mapping from style properties to values, not a string. So it's getting a string. Yeah, I get it, but this is something that plugin is supposed to be doing for us. So, I don't know what this was. This is frustrating. I'm not sure what to do. Let me clear my head. I haven't even gotten to Redux yet at all. Again, maybe it's because it's, no, that doesn't seem right, but maybe it doesn't want the CSS in the same place as the React component. me just try this. Let's just put it in the CSS folder and see what happens. I don't like this any more than you. So now we're going to go down into CSS layout. I don't think this is going to help, really. No. Invariant violation. That's a new error. Rendered to HTML name, and it's not, I don't even know what this is. Invariant violation. The style, it's the same thing. The style prop expects. Okay. So that wasn't even the problem. So what the hell is... Can I console log? I don't even know. What is this? What is this then? Can I get a witness? Is that gonna give me, can I debug this? I would love to debug this somehow. Oh, invariant violation. Style props. All I want is to load CSS. I was almost there. I swear this was working a minute ago. What did I do? Okay. Maybe it's time to back up. There was a place where this worked. And I swear it was here. It was here. It was here. When the layout was in the same folder, and we just called it like that. I swear that worked at some point. That worked. Can't resolve layout.css in components. Oh, that's okay. So that means I just have to say that, I hope. No, it's still the same thing. Fudge. This should be easier than this. I'm missing something. This should be easier than this. Let me try it without modules, okay? So let's say without modules, just with CSS. I don't know. I'm grasping at straws, but I'm also trying to simplify this. Because maybe I've got it overcomplicated, I don't know. So let's do this without modules. Can I still do the same thing? Can I still... What's that example? That says they're putting a style and then there's in pages index, it goes down one. So in that case, the style would be somewhere else. Okay, I'm moving it somewhere else. But I should be able to refer to that down and into CSS. And there it is, it sees the layout. And it's the uppercase layout. Okay, all right. And it has a body. And it has a body. And we're applying the body to that style, or to that thing. Okay. Okay. It worked. It worked! Unsupported style property background color. Oh yeah. Okay, that's nothing. I can deal with that. Numbers, categories, okay. So I think that worked. Let me just make sure. Oh, there's no blue background color though. So where's the layout? Inspect. Maybe it didn't work. This should be the layout. In my layout, I'm gonna say, oh no, it's not style, it's class. It's class. Oh, come on, I swore that would be it. Oh, maybe there's something wrong, hold on. Invalid property class. Yeah, that's right. It's class name, class name. Isn't that the way they did it here? Class name. No. Oh, they did it with a string here. That's what they mean by with modules or without modules. So all I have to do is say body, because it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. Import that. Okay. Okay, I've got a good feeling about this. Yes. Good feeling. All right. Good. Finally. It seemed way more complicated. Now, so all I was trying to do, okay, so let me check, because I'd really rather have this layout right here I'd rather have the CSS right by it. So let me see if I can make that work. It should be easy. It should just be just this, right? Yep. Okay, good. Okay, we certainly don't want blue. That wasn't the point. The point was just to be able to load. And I don't want this to be... I haven't figured out the font situation yet. We'll just go with Helvetica for now. Everybody loves Helvetica, right? Okay. So, home, coders, coding numbers. So I'm going to set up a few styles, or at least some style sheets. I like Arial better than Helvetica. Is that right? Did I spell that right? Yeah. It's either one's okay with me. You can take them both. I don't want to... Why is this border? Class body. So all this stuff is being overridden by... Oh, it's because I didn't do it right. Document. One pick solid. Black. I don't know. Oh. What is wrong with that? Because it's a string? Pick solid DDD. Oh, it's because it's a string, yeah. I don't know why this border, I don't want a border like that. Okay, so this will just be the layout, the body. Now let's do one for the header. New file. Can I do a new file here? New file. Well, call header. See if this works. Components going to be header.css, and you will import header.css. Sorry, Falco. Look, when you watch it on YouTube, let me know, because if it streams decent on YouTube, that means it's something on your end. Because as far as I can tell, I don't know. But thanks for watching. I'm only on for another 20 minutes or so anyway. I'm gonna try and get this working. These styles anyway. So we're gonna call this header. And this is what's got all the links in it. So our header should, not sure if that background color works. Probably not. I've never done HSL, so yeah, so it didn't like that. I could put blue though, yeah. HSL, CSS, color, HSL. Let's add hue, saturation, lightness. That's what that stands for. So it's probably just HLSA. It's probably just I probably just need to remove the symbols. I'll bet it's that. Yeah, that's it. But it didn't like that either, did it? Open up, open up. Come on. Why doesn't it like that? Invalid property value. CSS, HSL. Fine, I'll go to W3 schools. Fine. Oh, they do want the percents on the other one. Boop, boop. Is that better? Yeah, that's better. Okay. So picky. You don't want units on one, but you want units on the other. Okay. So we have a header and it has its own style. How about that? All of these also should inherit the style from the layout. Let's make sure the components does. Yeah. Okay. And this actually works for the most part. Oh, it doesn't. It doesn't. What happened? What happened? Did I leave it like this? I must have changed something. Check that out. My mouse interaction just got totally screwed up. Because I added CSS? That doesn't seem right at all. Or is it because... Well, yeah, I could see that could be right. Because if I removed some CSS, maybe that's where those magic values were coming from. That I didn't know where they were coming from. Because I removed some hand-coded stuff right here, right? Margin 20, padding 20. That's the 40. How about that? Okay, so that means hopefully all I have to do is remove that 40. Not the gutter, but this one. Where the frick does this 40 come from? How about now? Yes! Well, it worked on the bottom one, so there's another place that there's a 40, right? So I can remove this. Where's the other 40? There's the other 40. Oh man, that makes me happy. Find stuff like that. I knew it was bad. Whatever that was not a good thing. Now the 40 is accounted for. Awesome. Only 3 of you are here to see that. That's magic. Okay, on that note, maybe I should maybe we should check some of this stuff in. Okay, so I've got a layout CSS, I've got a header CSS. I will create a simple scalar encoder CSS. Where's the, oh yeah, I forgot the cheer button. And the cow. And the cow. So I'm happy to get some CSS in place. We also want, I will create a CSS for the simple scalar encoder. Maybe not. Maybe I don't need it at all. Let's not. Let's say we might want CSS specific to a page. So for like the numbers encoder, I might, but in that case, I might just add it right here in line. If it's not much, I'll just add it in line. If it starts becoming a hassle, we'll pull it out. But I want the page level stuff, you know, the header and the layout. I want that to be easy to get in there and mess with. I don't want it to be hidden inside a React component somewhere. So that's sort of why I pulled it out. Honestly, I don't really want it in components. I should put it back in CSS, but I don't know. It's, I'm still getting used to React, and the framework was not, yeah, this was not, I've never found CSS to be very easy or intuitive at all. But then UI is hard. UI is always hard. There's no simple way to do it. I learned Swing in Java first. That was my first UI system that I really dug into, was Java Swing, and not intuitive. and that was like everything's an object. Everything's an object. That was OOP overkill for sure. Java Swing. Whew. Such big class hierarchies in those Java UI components. Okay, we better commit this. You know what we should do? Because we just did work that wasn't on the list. So I'm gonna create another card. Oh, simple page styling. That was on the list. UI framework. And it's gonna be me. And then that's what I'm working on. And now I'm gonna commit it. Okay. The first thing you do when you write a to-do list is write finish the to-do list. That's item number 1. Then as soon as you're done with the to-do list, you cross an item off the list. Okay. I have got component modified. Let's do a quick diff. There's a lot of stuff in here. Right, the header now has CSS. It's applying class name. We removed the inline style from the layout and applied the class from the CSS. Fix the fix me, fix the fix me. This is package lock. I really don't like committing package lock. It doesn't seem like it should be committed. I'm gonna remove it. Excuse me. Package lock seems like something that you should share if you need to. You know, just like, hey, it worked in my environment, but here's my environment. That's what it seems like package lock should be. I'm not a big fan of committing it into the code base. Unless there's some reason for it to have it like to deploy to production or something. I don't feel like it should be in the code base. It's just too much cruft. Every time you commit this big blob of whatever. Oh yeah, I need to clean this up. This is in encoders. I gotta clean up encoders. See, I'm glad I did that. Okay, yeah, I gotta clean up encoders real quick. This aside bit mostly worked, but actually maybe I'll just leave it. What this should do. Where is the aside again? So I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to do class name aside. I'm going to do it like it was. And we're just going to take this aside where we had it. This is what I wanted to do in the first place. This is what got me going on all this CSS, was this aside bit that I didn't like having there. I'm going to have it in the layout so I can put asides anywhere. So now it should still work when I go to encoders and there's an aside at the bottom. Yeah, okay. Just making sure. All right, so that bit is then cleaned up, and the encoders still has this list style type none that doesn't need to be there. So what I should do here is, instead of this, list style type none. Because what that does is, oh, it broke. Right, oh, I don't have a list style, there it is. Instead of having this, what I should really do is have aside unordered lists. So in the aside, in the layout, an aside ULLI list style type none. There we go. Am I right? Am I good? Am I good? Am I good? Am I good? Is that right? Yes, that's right. Because these are actually unordered lists, and they've got okay. All right. So cleaned up, much better. I'm very much happy with this cleaner. Git remove force package lock. Sorry, Will, if you're watching, I can't do it. Don't like having the package lock. Okay, everything in components, everything in pages. So I got 2 new CSS files and components, which may or may not be moved at some point. Modified a lot of JavaScript. Let me just make sure this is. Why did that change orders? Doesn't matter, I guess. Okay. Add package and then next config. Okay. CSS styling standards. One more thing. I might as well put, well, this is sort of obvious, isn't it? I mean, you want to know, there's the header, and you just look right there, and there it is, and that's pretty obvious. So I don't think I need to really explain this. I was thinking about maybe updating the README to explain how the CSS is working, but the way it's set up now is pretty clear. Here, you just import your CSS with your React component, which is perfect. Okay. Push. Git push upstream master. And we'll know it's deployed once we see that there's a color right here. A colored header. Alright, this is good timing because I gotta go. Not yet, but it doesn't matter. It'll deploy there soon. Thanks for the help with the lookup, Mark, and others. Next Pixel, if anybody's still watching. We only got a few people online, so I am just going to sign off. Everything is committed. I will be back streaming again tomorrow, and I'm going to be working with the Nupik community fork. We're going to start work on a hot gem. We're going to do a let's build hot gem. Basically the algorithms API, do a hot gem example using the pi bindings that exist for Nupik.cpp. So this is going to be Python on top of the C++ core in the community fork of NuPut Core. So I thought that might be a good place to start doing some Python 3. That seems to be the easiest place right now to program HTML in Python 3. So we're going to take a stab at it tomorrow at 9 o'clock. So see you then. Bye, everybody. Take care. I got to press this button and everything stops.